Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Autopolis with the 2016 Honda NSX Concept GT, and this is on the racing soft tires with BOP on and tuning disabled. When you're starting a new lap, you can go a little wide into the penultimate corner. That way you get a slightly better start to your new lap as you go to the final corner. So as you start your new lap, bring yourself towards the left side of the track using every single rev that this car has, and then brake just after you pass the 100-meter board. So this is before the grandstand on the left ends. Go out full braking power, turning in just after the 50-meter board. Start to ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, going down to second gear for more rotation, but exit on third gear and fully accelerate your way out. Then bring yourself towards the left. You're braking just after you pass this path that is on the left, just before the 50-meter board, which kind of shows you how good the brakes are on this car. Full braking power for a very short moment, and quickly ease off the brakes as you're turning in. So doing a bit of trail braking, lots of throttle control as you go through the next few corners until you reach the hairpin, in which you want to brake before the curb on the right ends. Go down to first gear and try to hug the inside of the turn. Exit on second gear, and you want to try to get really aggressive on the throttle. There is a bit of turbo lag, but do be careful about getting on the throttle too early, as I almost spin out right there. Then turn in just as the curb on the right ends, and you just want to lift off our throttle, so a little bit of throttle control to let the car turn in a bit more. As you're pointing towards the Marshall stand on the other side of the track, that's when you want to fully accelerate your way out, so make sure you're on fourth gear by that point. Bring yourself towards the right and brake just as you reach the second to last sign that is on the right, so before the 50-meter board. Brake hard for a short while, turning in when the curb on the right starts. Going down to first gear to have the car rotate a bit more, but exit on second gear and try to get on the throttle as soon as you can. Now bring yourself towards the left. You're braking as close as you can to the 50-meter board, and you're turning in just after the 50-meter board. So you're using around half of your braking power, using all the downforce that your car has. Then when you reach the end of the curb that is on the left, that's when you turn in and use a little bit of your braking power, just trying to bring yourself towards the curbs on the right, going down to third gear. Some stay on fourth gear, and then brake before the curb on the right starts, with that curb being your turn-in point. You can go down to second gear for a bit more rotation, but make sure you exit on third gear. Just trying to maintain as much momentum as possible, and you can see me being a little aggressive on the throttle on third gear, turning in just as the curb on the right is about to end. For the most part, you can just lift off our throttle or use a tiny smidge of braking. Finally, you're braking just as a curb on the left starts and turning in almost right away. So you're using just a little bit of braking, trying not to reduce too much speed. And as soon as you're about to point towards the end of the grandstand, that's when you want to try to fully accelerate your way out. And don't hit too much of the curb on the left. And with that, I was able to get a 133.896. Let's go ahead and go through this again, but without stopping the video. Alright, so here we go, without stopping the video. And again, as I'm starting the new lap, gonna get a slightly different line, going a little wider through the penultimate corner to try to get a slightly better exit to start my new lap, so that way I'm going a little faster. But anyways, using every single rev that this car has, staying on fifth gear, brake just after the 100-meter board. Turn 1 is really difficult to nail down as it's a bit of a blind turn, and this car does have a lot of downforce, so make use of it. Brake just before the 50-meter board, so you can brake really late, doing lots of throttle control to try to maintain as much momentum. Brake just before the curb on the right ends, going down to first gear for more rotation. Exit on second gear and get on the throttle as soon as you can, making sure that you don't spin out. Doing a little bit of throttle control, and you can use a bit of the curb on the left to help you turn in a bit more, but just try to get on the throttle as early as you can. braking before the 50-meter board for the next hairpin, first gear for more rotation, and then exit on the second gear. This car does have a bit of turbo lag, so you have a bit of time to straighten up the car. Braking as close as you can to the 50-meter board, trusting the downforce to make it through these next couple of turns, bringing yourself towards the right and doing a little bit of throttle control, and then again just trusting the downforce to try to carry you through the third sector of this track, going through third gear in the final turns, just trying to maintain as much momentum as possible with throttle control and a little bit of braking, and then just hug the right side of the track to try to get a fast exit to end your lap. And that is it for the lap guide. Hopefully this lap guide helps you out a bit. And if you like this video, you can press the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And that's all from me. So do take care. This is Mr. MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.